Hear the Dave Ryan Show on the radio, on the iHeartRadio app, and watch on YouTube. Dave Ryan TV from KDWB.
It is 7 o'clock, 7:05 actually on KDWB. Time for Katy Perry tickets. We're going to play a little game called Connections. Here's the way the game works. I will give you 4 words. You tell me what they have in common. Okay. What is the commonality of these 4 words? Do you want me to start you off with an easy one?
Sure.
Please. Okay. All right, here we go. White, out. Card, key. You can write them down if you want to. You think that'll help. This is not the actual one. This is a practice round. White, out, card, and key. Bailey's writing them down. Scritch, 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 scritch. Mm-hmm. Any luck? Want to guess? Anybody? It's one of those things when you hear the answer, you'll go like, oh, that was pretty easy. By the way, while you're working on that, I'll stall for you and say the Wolves are playing tonight. They're at home, Golden State Warriors. I think tip-off is 7:30, but I'm not positive about that. But tickets are still available. Any luck? You're puzzling.
Yeah, I have no idea.
My only thought is that they each go with each other, like key card and white out. Those are 2
they
things.
do. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's a good guess.
That's it.
No, it's not the right answer. Okay. I'll give you a clue.
Okay.
I'm looking at one of them right now.
Key card.
I got it.
What is it, Vaughn?
Whiteboard. I don't know. Out. Cardboard. Keyboard. What's
outboard. Outboard.
Oh, what's that?
It's a motor. Outboard motor.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know about cars.
They all can end in board. You see? Whiteboard, outboard.
Never heard of an outboard.
Cardboard, keyboard.
Whoa.
I feel like that one wasn't as easy as you thought it was.
Okay, maybe it was easy because I knew the answer.
Yeah.
I wrote this myself, by the way.
I know.
Created this myself.
Ooh.
Okay, here we go with the next one. You ready?
Yes.
Shower. This is the real thing, by the way. For Katy Perry tickets, when is the show? A week from tonight?
Yes.
The 13th. Yeah.
We've got tickets for you right now.
Just love, we can dance until we die.
Here are the words: shower, poop, puddle, shoes. Again, shower, poop, puddle, shoes. Any idea? Now, your strategies are different. Jenny just sits and thinks about it.
No, I think I have an answer, but then I got thrown off by shoes.
Okay. Bailey is writing them down. Vaughn, do you write them down? Do you do
Yeah,
when
I just
you do
did.
this? Okay. I'll give it to you one more time. Shower, poop, puddle, and shoes. Vaughn, I'm going to text you the answer because you actually don't know the answer, right?
No, I'm a dummy.
Okay, well, you're not a dummy. It's going to try a tough one. Okay.
I think I have it, actually.
Yeah? You want to write it down and show me?
Yeah, well, I'm writing it down, but it's sloppy.
Let me see. Yes! Jenny got it!
Okay, nice job, Jenny.
So it can't be too terribly difficult.
Yeah, because I'm not that smart.
No, you're smart, but it's like if you can get it, that's good. So you call and you win tickets to go see Katy Perry a week from tonight. And by the way, if you play the Connections New York Times game along with Wordle and Strands and some of the other games, I just want to tell you, I got Connections in 4 in 1 guess today. So
wow.
I had no wrong answers.
Wow.
And I got Wordle in 5 today.
Oh.
In case you're woke up and going,
Well,
God,
that's not that good.
That's
for
not
Wordle.
it's not really,
Yeah.
no, not really that
But
good.
good job on the connections.
Thank
Good job.
you. Thank you very much. Okay, we do have some answers on the phone here. Let's see what we got. Okay, Michael, good morning.
Good morning.
Where are you calling from, Michael?
Noka.
Okay,
Ooh.
here are your words: shower, poop, puddle, shoes. What's the connection?
I was thinking like your dog or a dog.
I mean, it's a good guess. It's a good guess, yeah. But
It's something that a dog would like. It's something that involves dogs.
something that involves dogs: shower, poop, puddle, and shoes. Good guess, Michael, but I'm sorry, not correct. Thanks for trying. Okay, have a good day.
It's a very am I close guess.
Am I close?
Yeah, right. It really was. Kind of. Annika. Annika. Hi, Annika.
Hi,
Where are you calling from?
Glencoe.
Okay, love it out there. What's the connection?
Is it baby? They all have something to do with baby, like baby shower, baby shoes.
Baby puddle.
Baby puddles.
Baby puddle, a baby.
I love
Puddle
baby
baby.
puddles.
No, it's a good guess, Annika, but thanks for trying.
That's all right. Thank
Okay,
you.
have a good day. Let's talk to Macy. Hi, Macy.
Hi.
Where are you this morning?
I am in my home in Golden Valley.
Okay.
Nice.
Give me the connection. Shower, poop, puddle, and shoes.
Okay, so all of those are things that you step in.
Jenny, is she right?
She's right.
She's right.
Good job.
Yeah. Step in the shower, step in poop, step in the puddle, step in your shoes. Macy, congratulations. Katy Perry tickets. Good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We got more coming up next hour on KDWB at 8:05. We're running a little bit short on time, but I think we got to work this in here because Bailey, would you get a text message yesterday?
I got a text message, an Instagram message, and I think we got an email as well.
From different people.
I think it was from, maybe it might have been some of the same people, but somebody really wants me to know
Yes.
that I look like a very specific celebrity.
Yes.
And kind of like how you look like Lady Elaine. I'm not thrilled.
you.
I'm not thrilled about this comparison.
Yeah.
I've been compared to Ruth Buzzy, who just died.
We looked up a picture of Ruth Buzzy, and there is some resemblance there.
No, there isn't.
There is. I will tell you this. You're way hotter than Ruth Buzzy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Because if you don't know what Ruth Buzzy looks like, you should look up Ruth Buzzy.
B-U-Z-Z-I.
B-U-Z-Z-I. I even tried to look up Ruth Buzzy young to maybe make myself feel a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on the YouTube live, Font put a picture of Ruth Buzzy right there. And so I don't necessarily think I don't want to say that she's like not a pretty woman, but she's got a very big chin. She's got a very big nose and
a very big mouth.
Big
too,
mouth.
like
She's got big teeth, which I have tiny little teeth. So at least there's that isn't a thing.
I'm looking at the picture of Ruth Buzzy, probably taken in about 1965 or so. She was a comic actress. She did like a couple of different bits back in the day. And Bailey purposely did her hair to look like Ruth Buzzy today.
I did.
Go on the YouTubes and look and see whether Bailey looks like Ruth Buzzy.
Did it hurt your heart a little bit, Bailey, when you started seeing these texts and stuff come in saying, "Oh, this is what Bailey looks like," and then you looked at a picture and you're like, "Ah,
Yeah, I was like, ooh, a lookalike? I never get a doppelganger. Oh.
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Text and let us know, or go on YouTube and then just start commenting whether Bailey looks like Ruth Buzzy. I'm going to make a comment right now.
If I look more like Ruth Buzzy, then Dave looks like Lady Elaine Fairchild.
I do look a lot like you. Put a picture of Lady Elaine Fairchild up next to me too, Vaughn.
Vaughn's like, oh, shoot, I don't have that ready.
don't we have a reel
Always on the
of
phone.
Dave?" Oh yeah.
We
I'll
do
put
have
that
a
up
reel of
later.
Dave being compared to Lady Elaine.
Mm-hmm.
We should share that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really should.
Go check that out. We'll be right back on KDWB. We're doing Talkback Tuesday. Here's my Talkback idea. Here's what we want to do. Yesterday was Cinco de Mayo. And then I think somebody wrote in and said, "Oh, I hate Cinco de Mayo. I'm a server at a Mexican restaurant. It is our," what'd they call it?
They're doomsday.
Doomsday. Because you get all these drunken people coming in, getting margaritas, shots of tequila, wanting more chips and salsa. It's crowded, it's busy, and they're drunk. So what is your doomsday? Use the talkback feature and tell us, like, if you're a teacher, maybe it's the first day of school, maybe it's the last day of school. If you are a doctor or a nurse, or if you are a tax preparer or lawyer, what is your doomsday? Let us know. Just open up the iHeartRadio app and then use the talkback feature, the red microphone, to let us know. We'll play them next.
The Twin Cities number one music station.
101.3 KDWB.
From the Custom One MN.com Weather Center.
Getting a little hot and spicy out there today. Sunny all day long with a high of 85. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 72.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Don't postpone better sleep. Shop Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale now. Upgrade to a premium bed from a curated selection and take your rest to the next level. Don't miss out. Visit Mattress Firm today. Get matched. Sleep at night.
You ever look in the mirror and you think, "Oh, I wish I had a little bit of smoother skin or a slimmer shape, maybe some more confidence"?
You know what? It is springtime. It's the perfect time to feel and look your best, or pamper yourself this Mother's Day with Ideal Image.
Yeah, you can get Cool Sculpting, help freeze away stubborn fat with Cool Sculpting. It's no needles or downtime. Very simple. And right now you can get up to 52% off Cool Sculpting Elite. Once again, that's up to 52% off.
That is perfect for spring and Mother's Day. Also, Med Spa. It is not just a med spa. It is the med spa. They have a wide range of aesthetic treatments, including skin rejuvenation, Botox, and fillers, all at Ideal Image. And by the way, laser hair removal, too. Right now, get up to 84% off on laser hair removal at Ideal Image. That's up to 84% off.
Give them a call today to get their promo pricing and special offers on laser hair removal, injectables, cool sculpting, and more at 1-800-BE-IDEAL. That's 1-800-BE-IDEAL.
Or online, idealimage.com, idealimage.com.
And tell them Dave and Jenny sent you.
KDWB FM, Richfield, Minneapolis, St. Paul, an iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Allie and AJ, the beloved duo, are back with the Silver Deliverer Tour to a city near you this fall with Amanda Shires. Get early access with the iHeartRadio presale. Download the free iHeartRadio app and search Allie and AJ for your exclusive presale code and early access to tickets on May 7th.
Deciding on the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University was the best choice I've ever made. From the moment I stepped on campus, I felt welcomed and supported. I joined clubs that fueled my passions, participated in service projects that made a real impact, and found mentors who truly cared about my growth. Now, as I prepare to graduate with a job offer in hand, I look back at the amazing experiences and connections that have shaped who I am today. Plan your future and schedule a visit at csbsju.edu. That's csbsju.edu.
Hear that? That's the sound of another person saying yes to their guaranteed cash offer from Chris Lindahl Real Estate. Every time a bell rings, another homeowner gets their freedom. Because accepting a guaranteed cash offer means you're in control. You can sell your house on your terms, and you can move on to the next chapter of your life. In a shifting economy, certainty is success. When you gamble by listing your house on the open market, there's no guarantee that it will sell. But when you accept your guaranteed cash offer, it's guaranteed. Get yours today at chrislindahl.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Buying a new car might make you say things like, I can't believe it.
Seriously, it's ours? Is this real life?
Move it.
Yeah, it's real life, all right.
But what you really need to say is something that can protect your new ride.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Yep, we're here to help you choose the coverage you need. So just remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, Spruce, Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people.
Put down your smokes, you guys put down your beer. We got a game tonight, that's why another school is here. Tax the rich, your mom is here, and so is your aunt. Straight from Fort Wayne's most prestigious plant. Go fight with all your might and act like you give a crap. Please direct your attention to the 50-yard line, where for your entertainment, the cheer captain will now get pregnant by number 32, Billy Bob Bodine. We had a chance to win tonight. We practiced hard and long, but the QB's got an injury. Set himself on fire with his bong. Wick, wick, wick. Indiana's from where we hail. Look, the coach just got out of jail. Hey, does anybody want to buy a washer? Come see me after the game.
Okay.
Well, I'll be back, kids. Stupendous. Oh, boy, do I gotta go. Open the door here. Oh, pull down my pants. Oh. Oh. I'm in here. Busy right now. Oh. Barney! Barney! Come out, Barney! Will you just wait a minute? Oh, that was stupendous. Oops, here comes another one. Wait, my little dinosaur butt there. Coming! Here it comes, kids!
He like specifically focuses on apartment dogs and gets them and then takes them for walks around the lakes in Uptown. And I
That's
love
cool.
it.
You know, a dog in an apartment's got to be kind of a challenge because you can't just like let him outside. You got to take him out for a walk.
Yeah.
And you just get home and you sit down and you got your pizza. You just ordered your DoorDash and you want to watch something on Netflix. And then the dog is scratching at the door, wagging her tail. You're like, no.
Because you can't just open the door and let it out.
No,
you
not
gotta
really.
walk all the way.
It was Cinco de Mayo yesterday. I know Vaughn went out and got a couple of cervezas with Alyssa.
Cervezas.
But somebody's texted and said that that they're a server at a Mexican restaurant and Cinco de Mayo is their doomsday because everybody comes in, it's crowded, there's a wait out the door, everybody's doing tequila, margaritas, people are getting the free chips and salsa.
Getting sloshed.
They said that's our doomsday. So we asked other people, what is your doomsday? On the Talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app for Talkback Tuesday, what is your doomsday? What do you do and what is your doomsday?
I'm a collector, so every day is doomsday. No, I'm just kidding. But so I guess doomsday for us would be having to call people on holidays when we're open. So sometimes we're open like Christmas Eve for a couple hours. That one's my favorite, having to call people on Christmas Eve.
I wonder what that call sounds like. Hi, is this Bailey Hess?
Yeah.
Bailey, do you realize that you owe MediaCom $4,000? When are you going to pay this? Yeah. Oh, I plan on paying it. Yeah, I'm going to pay it next week. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Next one.
I'm a nurse, and I would say doomsday or a doom season would be right after everyone comes home from traveling for winter break. Everyone has the flu, norovirus, all sorts of illnesses. It's not a good time.
Okay.
Oh, yuck.
What about you?
So I haul your guys' trash with a semi-tractor trailer, and our doomsday is anytime it basically downpours. Because when it downpours, it turns the landfill into a sludge pit. You're talking like basically a swamp. I'm wearing waders. I'm wearing all this protective gear because there's diapers floating around. There's everything floating around. So if you ever wondered where your trash goes, I'm the one taking it.
Isn't it funny? We just throw it away.
Yeah.
We don't really think of what
is away.
what it becomes. Yeah. That's a profession that should have their own day, Jenny, is trash collectors. Because you talk about a profession we take for granted. We roll our little dumpster out to the end of the driveway, and we come home from work, and it's empty. We roll it back into the garage, and we don't even think about it. Thanks for all you do. All right, another one.
Good morning. I work at a fire sprinkler fabrication shop, and twice a year we have to do a physical inventory of every fitting, every piece of pipe, every little tool, every little everything that's in our entire warehouse. We have to count it multiple times throughout the day. That's my doomsday.
What is your profession? What is your doomsday?
So I work in a kitchen as a chef. My doomsday is any day it is sunny and above 65. Everyone comes out to enjoy their day.
Okay, right. All right, here's another one.
I work in a dental office, and our doomsday is December 31st. It's the last day of the year, and most people lose their benefits if they haven't used them. And that is where everybody comes out of the woodwork wanting to have services done that particular day that they haven't done and known about for the last 10 plus years.
Wow. That's going to be the DMV on tomorrow when you're supposed to get the real ID. I'm sure that's going to be doomsday tomorrow.
When is real ID? Is that tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
What?
I know. I'm
Fill
thankfully not like.
Fill me in. I don't know about this.
Oh, well, you're supposed to get the real ID by tomorrow.
By tomorrow?
So that you can do domestic travel. And if you don't have a real ID, you have to have a passport.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Well, now you know. I can give you details. I was planning on talking about it.
Okay, wait. So if I don't have a real ID by tomorrow, if I fly into Colorado, I got to bring my passport?
Yes. Your passport.
Thank God you told me.
Or your
How many people are headed to the airport tomorrow and didn't know this?
Well, they had like the news there yesterday just to like talk to people and say like, hey, did you know about the real ID? And the amount of people who didn't know about it were staggering, apparently. Staggering.
No ID.
So I think tomorrow will be doomsday at the DMV.
Oh,
100%.
Man, that is something I'd put off forever. Nobody likes to go to the DMV.
No. Well, I think I'm just going to renew my passport and call it good. I don't have anywhere to fly.
Okay.
You don't have a real one? A real ID?
No.
Do you, Jenny?
Oh, yeah. I got it. I had to get a new ID a few years ago. So I got it a while ago. And it was supposed to come into place like 4 years ago already. So I did it early, like preemptively, thinking I had to.
Mm-hmm. I was going to. And then I said, I'll just get the real ID while I'm here renewing my license. And they were like, well, do you have all of these documents? Because you need like anytime you've changed your name, you need those. You need like your social security card. You need everything to like prove it's you.
I was going to impress you guys with an update that I knew that Target is doing away with self-checkout.
Oh, really?
I did hear that, yeah.
They're doing away with self-checkout. I think you can still do it if you've got 10 items or less, but don't quote me on that. Problem is shoplifting because people will bring up a big cart full of stuff and then put things in their pocket or their pants or whatever.
Or just don't ring it up. Yeah.
And so then people are going, wow, I wouldn't go to self-checkout if they had more than 3 of the 20 registers open. Well, I think they will now.
They have to, yeah.
They're going to have to. So there was my news. I didn't know about Real ID.
Well, now you know.
I got stuff to do. All right, here's another one. What is your doomsday where you work?
So I manage 2 busy emergency rooms, and the 4th of July is our doomsday. People all over saying, watch my beard, blowing their fingers off. Busy day. Doomsday.
Last time I was in the ER was because of the 4th of July also.
That was your gash in your foot?
Yeah, when I sliced my foot open on Big Island.
A couple of more of these really interesting. What is your doomsday? This is a text message. I work in an animal rescue. Doomsday is right after Christmas when everybody surrenders animals they got as gifts and don't want.
Oh.
And then people are getting after me saying, Vaught told you about Real ID months ago. How could you forget? They've been telling us about this for years. But to me, a deadline was it's always way up there. You know what I mean?
They have been pushing it back like constantly because apparently I also learned that this was put into effect during George W. Bush. Like 2004 is when they said, hey, in 20 years, everybody needs a real ID to travel.
Question, what's the difference between my driver's license and a real ID?
The real ID has a star on your license or just the ID card. There's like a little star and it's like, this is more valid.
It means you can travel domestically.
I can already travel domestically.
Not anymore, buddy. Not anymore.
What are they trying to prevent?
I don't know. Tomfoolery. Rabble rousing, probably.
Everybody's coming after me saying, Dave, how did you not know about Real ID? Yeah, I even know about it. I haven't watched it. I don't even watch the news. Wow. How do you get a Real ID?
You just gotta go to the DMV the same way you would renew your license.
Do you need an appointment?
I would assume so, especially
need an appointment
now.
to go to the DMV?
No, you don't.
No.
Oh.
You don't need an appointment. You
Here.
definitely just show up, but be prepared to wait.
This text message says you can get a real ID, go online, upload all your papers, make an appointment at the DMV, bring all your original papers with you. It's so much easier than trying to do it in person. And also, you can get what they call a passport card. So you can get your passport with the passport card, and it's like an ID, and you can use it to travel in the US.
I don't think you can make an appointment at any DMV. I think there's specific ones you can actually make an appointment at. But you can do a lot of online stuff ahead of time, because that's what I did the last time I had to get a new ID.
But you go to realid.gov?
Yeah,
something like that.
Probably, honestly.
I'm double locked in. I got the real. I just got it because for like the first year I lived out here, I still had my Jersey license. But then like last October, me and Alyssa went and got Minnesota licenses with the real ID. But I also have my passport, so that counts as a substitute.
Yeah. Your passport's for international travel, or the passport card for international travel. Real ID is just for domestic travel.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm locked and loaded.
How did I miss that?
I don't know. You're busy
Somebody
in
should
your
have
RV.
told me.
Somebody should have brought it up.
Right, exactly.
The Dave Ryan Show, 101.3 KDWB.
A lot of dirt going on today, brought to you by 612 Injured, Heimer and Lammer's Injury Law. Kind of a funny little story, kind of a full circle moment. Ashley Tisdale just watched her niece play Sharpay in her school musical.
Aww.
Here's a clip of Ashley singing from the original way back in 2000. You want to guess?
2005.
2006. Yes, exactly right.
So good to be seen, so good to be heard. Don't have to say a word. So lonely before I finally found what I've been looking for.
What is Ashley Tisdale doing now? Does anybody know?
Not much, probably.
Going to her niece's play.
Yeah, going to her niece's play.
Rihanna and A$AP Rocky have baby number 3 on the way. She debuted the baby bump right before the Met Gala, which was last night.
Yeah, a ton of people obviously attended the Met Gala. They raised $31 million. Bailey liked the fashion. I personally thought it was boring, but it went with the theme, which is like tailored suits and jackets and stuff to raise money for the Costume Institute or something. I forget exactly what it is. But I will say that people are speculating online about Hailey Bieber because she showed up by herself. No Justin. And she also left her hotel with a martini in her hand and like showed up with like a martini. And I just feel like it's not like a great sign that you can't leave your drink in your hotel room as you're leaving.
Yeah.
And Justin had a quote scheduling conflict apparently, but also there were pictures floating around of him smoking from a huge bong recently, which whatever, weed is legal in a lot of states now. So like he can do that. But it's just like probably not the best look being a newer dad, and also that him and Hailey haven't seemed to be doing a whole ton together lately.
It's got to be rough. I feel bad for Justin because I think he was a very sweet little kid that just grew up and just got ripped apart by the industry. Just really a tough life. I mean, tough, but also not tough. When Larry David met Paul McCartney earlier this year, he didn't want to ask him the same questions like, what's your favorite Beatles song? Or how did you write Let It Be? Things like that. So he came up with another question.
At the 50th, I was introduced to Paul McCartney, and I said to him, has anyone ever punched you in the mouth? There was an incident in his youth when he was like 13 or 14, and somebody headbutted him, he told me.
Somebody headbutted him. Okay.
Gosh,
all right.
sounds rough.
Probably not lately. Final Destination Bloodlines comes up later on this month. And there is something very interesting during the opening sequence that you should watch for. A woman gets burned to death during the opening sequence. Here's what's interesting about it. It is a 71-year-old stunt woman. She set a world record for the oldest person ever on fire on camera. 71-year-old stunt woman.
I mean, good for her.
Yeah.
That she's still making it happen.
There's a job I would not want.
A
Hey,
stunt
Dave,
person?
listen, we're going to put you in this flame-proof suit. Is it really flame-proof? Well, it is for about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
After that, you got to get out of it. Really, I mean, okay, ready? We're going to light you on fire. 3, 2, what? Just kidding. Here we go.
Just kidding.
3. Would not want that job.
Now do a backflip.
No. A guy crashed his car through the gates at Jennifer Aniston's house yesterday. She was home. There's no word why, whether it was an accident or not. He was arrested and charged with felony vandalism. So I guess the update makes it sound like it was on purpose that he did that. Let's see. Dolly, an original musical, just announced that they have cast 3 women to play Dolly, and the show will make its world premiere in Nashville on July 18th.
I have something to say about that because there's drama with that whole thing.
Oh, please tell.
Because the people that they cast are 3 like famous people, but they had this huge like casting call,
like a social media contest.
Huge
almost.
casting call on social media. That's like, hey, if you want to be Dolly, send us a video. And then it was just for publicity. It was just like a marketing
So
stunt.
it wasn't really a real audition.
No, I think they had all those people cast already. And because they said that they were going to cast an unknown, so they had all of these women audition over like social media and get like super viral and just to create buzz for the musical. But they already had these people cast, and these people are all famous.
That's
Wow,
a bunch of
isn't that hooey?
bullcorn.
Isn't that a bunch
Bailey.
of bullcorn?
Wasn't one of the women that people were saying should definitely get it? She was already kind of a Dolly impersonator.
Yeah.
So was she not eligible?
Nope, she didn't
get
nobody
it?
who auditioned for it like on social media got it.
Wow,
Now
that's
that you-
shady.
Now that you bring that up, I remember there was a radio station, I think it was here in town, and this was years ago. They did hey, we got an opening on the morning show, and we're going to do an open casting call.
Mm-hmm.
And they had people send in pictures and videos and audio clips of them and like, hi, my name's Stacy, and I'm from Glencoe, and I'd love to be on the morning show, and I'd love to...
Mm-hmm.
And they had people come in and audition, and they already had somebody chosen.
Yeah. Isn't that bonkers?
It is. It's bullcorn.
It's a bunch of bullcorn. It's a bunch of bullcorn.
We are going to do... I think we're going to do Guess the TV Mom first, Jenny, or we're going to do group therapy first?
Nope, we're going to do Guess the TV Mom.
Okay, so we're going to play a little clip of a TV mom because Mother's Day, don't forget, is coming up this Sunday. Flowers are going to be more expensive because most flowers are imported. I learned this on the news this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Flowers are imported and there's the tariffs. So you will be paying more for flowers for mom.
Makes sense.
For this Mother's Day, but you still can't forget her. And Mother's Day is Sunday. So we're going to do Name That TV Mom right now. All you got to do is tell us who the TV mom is and you win. Check this out. It's not flowers. It's better. It's a $250 Metropolitan gift card. What can you get over at Metropolitan, Jenny?
So many different things. You can get Botox. You can get laser treatments. You can get laser hair removal. You can get Juvederm, which is Juvederm and filler the same?
It's a filler, I believe.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
So pretty much the same thing, but just a ton of different stuff. And the Metropolitan's great. I've gone there myself and love them.
Okay. If you want to go, name this TV mom. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
I've been gutted. John, I've been stripped of every morsel of pleasure I earned in this life.
You know what gives it away for me?
Yeah.
The music in the background.
That's what I was going to say too.
Okay. If you got it, you got it. Then you can call in to win 651-989 KDWB. We'll get a win. It won't take long to get a winner on this one. It's
No.
pretty easy.
I've been gutted. John, I've been stripped of every morsel of pleasure I earned in this life.
Great TV character.
You know what it kind of sounds like now? Because you watched the last season of The White Lotus, the family with the 3 kids
Yes.
and then the mom and the dad.
Yes.
That mom is so over exaggerated. She kind of sounds like,
That's
okay.
kind of her.
You
Yeah,
said it. You almost said it.
Don't say
My bad. But here's what I will say. French toast sandwich. You ever heard of one? Well, if you haven't, go to Holiday Station stores and get one today because it's delicious. And
It's a
delightful.
French toast sandwich?
Yes.
Ugh.
Basically 2 slices of French toast.
French
Right
toast.
in the middle. You get a sausage patty,
And
egg,
there's sausage in
cheese.
there? With egg and cheese?
Yeah. Little breakfast sandwich. Start your day off at Holiday Station stores.
That sounds delightful. Thank you, Jenny. Okay. Who is the TV mom? It's taken a second. We're scrolling through the phones right now because here's what happens. I would do the same thing. Whenever we announce a contest on KDWB, people grab their phone before they even know what the question is. Then we answer the phone and say, do you know what the answer is? And they go, I didn't hear the question.
Huh?
So that's what Vaunt is going through right now. But I think he has finally found somebody. And here is Rachel. Good morning, Rachel.
Hi, good morning.
Are you a mom yourself, Rachel?
I am.
Here's the dilemma. Does your mom or mother-in-law live here in town?
She does not.
Okay. So you're free and clear. Mother's Day is going to be all about you, right?
Yes, of course.
Because there's a lot of moms that live here in town. Their mom lives here. Their mother-in-law lives here. They're like, oh, my God, who do I spend Mother's Day with? So then they divide it up like Christmas with a divorced family.
Yes.
You go to mother-in-law's on Monday. You go to your mom's house on Saturday, and then you get Mother's Day to yourself. What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm going to Murray's with my mom for steak.
I love it. All right, Rachel, who is that TV mom?
Moira Rose from S Creek.
Yes.
Good job.
You're a winner. You are going to pamper yourself with a $250 Metropolitan gift card. Happy Mother's Day, Rachel.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. We'll do it again tomorrow. Name that TV mom on KDWB. Right now, though, I think we're going to get right into group therapy.
101.3 KDWB. The Dave Ryan Show. Group therapy.
Tracy is on the phone for a group therapy. Good morning, Tracy.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for calling. Thanks for being on. Tell us what you wanted to get advice for, because this is what group therapy is all about. There's somebody listening who's got the same problem or been through the same problem, and they will be able to help you out. So what's going on?
Yeah, so I have a 9-year-old daughter, Jenny, and I don't have that much money. And my ex and I got divorced when she was 1. He gets some child support, but he also really doesn't have that much money.
Okay.
So, yeah. And when she was little, like 3 or 4, she didn't really want anything. She was super happy with a balloon.
Kids are happy when they're 3 or 4 years old. You give them a balloon or a McDonald's Happy Meal toy, and they're like, "Oh, cool!"
A box.
Nice. Give them a box. A box is a great toy. Okay, so but
McDonald's is a classic, of course.
yeah. So things have changed. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, she's 9, and now she wants bigger things that I can't really afford. We live in this really small, like 1,000 square foot apartment. It's got 2 bedrooms. And, she hangs out with her other friends in their big houses and not in our apartment. I'm just really embarrassed to have her friends over.
Okay. So she goes over to like Jessica's house, and Jessica's got like a game room, and there's like a big basketball hoop in the driveway, and maybe they got like a above ground pool or whatever.
Dang.
So they come to your house, and you live in a small, affordable home, and she doesn't have a lot to show off or room to play with. Yeah.
There's always the comparison of, well, she has this, why don't we have it? So I don't really want them to see the comparison.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I feel embarrassed about it. And, as a single mom. And her school is going on this skiing trip, and I can't afford it. And the other kids couldn't go either. So I'm not like the only poor parent that couldn't really afford the skiing trip. It was like last winter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they also had a bowling trip that I had to put money together for.
Mm-hmm.
And she went, but that was expensive. And now they're going to go to Valley Fair at the end of the school year. And
that's like a tradition.
Yeah.
So like so many schools.
Great, but it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to send her along on the end of the year Valley Fair field trip because it's too expensive.
Exactly. Right.
Okay.
And I feel bad. But I work this full-time job, right? And I work a part-time job on the weekend. And I don't really want to work more than that because I want to spend time with her.
Yeah.
And it's not that I really need money saving tips. I'm fine with that. And I know how to get a side hustle. I just want to know if anyone who grew up like this, how it affects them.
Now, I do feel when you were talking about how you live in a little 1,000 square foot apartment, which I guess with 2 bedrooms is pretty small.
Yeah.
It's definitely not giant.
Mm-hmm.
And so when her friends come over, you're kind of embarrassed, and she's 9. So you're worried that she'll feel embarrassed because like her friend, Jessica or whatever has got a bigger house with a big basement or whatever. So your question is not, how do I save money? How should I get another job? It's like your question is basically, if I got your email right, it's how does this affect you if you grow up like this? Was this painful growing up like this?
Jenny and I are both not necessarily the richest people.
Yeah. So my thing was, I did hang out with a lot of people who had money. Every single one of my friends pretty much was very wealthy, and they had big houses. And I think like because of my personality type, I was very jealous of that lifestyle. And I also went through things where like I was on a soccer team and we had a tournament up in the Twin Cities and my mom was like, I can't afford to send you.
Really?
But then she was able to work something out where I went with one of my friends on the team and then she just had to contribute a little bit for the hotel. So she made it happen. But I think the big thing with me is now as an adult, even though I am very financially responsible and I have enough money to afford the lifestyle that I want, I'm always stressed about money. Always stressed about it. Like I went to Costco last night and spent $160 and I was stressed about it. And I don't know why, because I have it now. But it's like this weird relationship I have with money because I grew up around, not being able to do a lot because we didn't have money and being scared to ask my parents for money. And I really couldn't. Like I started working jobs when I was like 12 to be able to do the things that I did.
You're like, once you're poor all the time.
Yes, you have a
if
poor
you're not.
mindset a lot. And I'm trying to get out of that.
Well, I think I kind of did the same thing because we save. We've always saved. We just don't spend. And as you get older, you go, what am I saving it for? So that's why we bought an RV and that's why we bought a jacuzzi. But let's go back to your question. How did it affect you? Were you embarrassed? Did you feel bad, Jenny?
Yes.
That your friends could come? You would go to your friend's house and they'd have a Super Nintendo or they had a Nintendo 64 and you had nothing. You had a TV with a coat hanger sticking out of the top.
I did.
And were you embarrassed that your friends might look down on that?
I don't ever want to say I didn't have anything because I did still have a good lifestyle. I just didn't have the mansions that my friends had and stuff.
Same.
So, but I was very embarrassed just because our house wasn't as nice as my friends. And one day my high school best friend threw a surprise party and had it at my house. And I show up and it's all these like girls that I'm not even that close with that were like the really rich jocks. And I was so embarrassed because our basement has the most hideous carpet that still exists there at my mom's house. And I was very embarrassed by it just because I had seen their houses and I was like, oh, like, yeah, this is where I live.
I get that, yeah. And you're not aware of that when you're like 6 or 7 years old, but now your daughter Tracy is 9 years old, and then entertainment used to be cheap. It's like, okay, here's a coloring book and a Happy Meal toy from McDonald's. But now your daughter's 9. So basically, we're talking to Tracy. If you just missed this, Tracy's a mom, doesn't have a lot of money. You get child support, but he doesn't have a lot of money either. So your daughter doesn't get to go on the Valley Fair end of the year school trip. She didn't get to go skiing this past year with school, but you did scrape together money for the bowling field trip. But the question is, does this mess with you? Does it make you look back and go, man, I did not have a good childhood because I was embarrassed that I couldn't go to all these things. Text messages for me, it wasn't a struggle for money, but I grew up with a very strict mom that didn't let me do a lot. I was often the only friend in the group that didn't get to go. In my case, it made me very responsible and independent, and it did affect my future relationship with my mom. There's a lot of people who say if you don't have the money for a field trip, Tracy, you can ask the school because a lot of the time they'll have a program that's like, okay,
scholarship.
The kids that can't afford the Valley Fair field trip, because that's going to be the admission price. It's going to be spending money and money for Dippin' Dots because you can't go to Valley Fair without Dippin' Dots.
Yeah.
Do have some people on the phone here.
Very true.
Well, absolutely. Yes. Don't deprive your child. Brianna, help her out. Did you grow up without a lot and you turned out good, or what happened?
Well, I mean, I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
I grew up with little to nothing. I mean, I had a roof and I had clothes and I had food, so it was fabulous. However, in my adult life, I thought that would carry on with me more, but it hasn't, which is nice. It's just made me appreciate the little things more now in my adult life compared to, I guess, the comparison game. I don't choose to be in that anymore.
You don't compare yourself anymore. It's really interesting. Have you ever known anybody who grew up poor and now they've got some money and all they can do is show it off and spend? It's like, oh, look, we went to so-and-so. Here's a picture of us in Bora Bora. And it's like, okay. But I think Jenny and I, both growing up without a lot of money, we're both very frugal.
So
like
frugal.
If Susan spends $250 on like a new recliner, I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
How much was that recliner?
I'm all about secondhand. I went to a garage sale this past weekend, got 6 things for $1 total. I was hyped. Like, you really do appreciate you really do appreciate the little things when you grew up like that.
Yes. If I didn't get it on sale or thrifted, then I didn't buy it. Period.
Now, here's an interesting take, you guys. It says, I was the kid with the big house. I honestly didn't think twice when I went to my friends' houses that weren't as nice. They might not be judging like you think they are. I think that's probably true because, I was not the poorest kid in Black Forest, Colorado. There were some other poor kids, and we went to their house, and we didn't go, God, this is a dump. Mm-hmm. We were like, oh, this is cool. We're going to go have fun. We're going to go out and find frogs in the pond out back. You don't care.
Maybe that's different for like boys versus girls. Because I definitely I never had my friends over at my house because my house was smaller than my friends, but also just kind of like messier than my friends. And so I would be embarrassed to have people over. So I wouldn't have them over. And then I would go to their fancy mansions. But I also remember going to a friend's house and she lived in a trailer. And I think because I'm a girl, I'm innately like, oh my gosh, a trailer. Yeah. Wow. Like, oh, wow. I have so much. I should be thankful, even though I thought I was also poor. So it's like I think it's more of a girl thing versus like, let's go look for frogs,
I guess. Wow. Okay. Basically, Tracy is on the phone. Tracy's got a 9-year-old daughter, and she's getting to the age where she wants more things, and she can't afford them. And she's not looking for financial tips. Although some people have said, go to the school and say, hey, we can't afford the Valley Fair field trip. Mm-hmm. Can you help out? And the school sometimes can. She's asking, will this affect her daughter when she gets older? And will this make her daughter go, God, I had a miserable childhood because mom didn't have any money. Lindsay, you didn't have any money when you were growing up, did you?
Oh, gosh, no. I was the white trash poor kid.
That's my girl. That's my girl. How did you turn out, though? Everything. Tell me your experience and what did you feel about that?
Yeah, so I grew up in and out of foster care up until I was like 16. And so I was, the very aware or very obviously the government assisted child or came to school reeking like cigarette smoke. My mom smoked in the house and all those kind of things. And so I definitely was embarrassed, but thankfully I didn't get bullied or anything like other people have experienced. And I would say now that I am an adult, 35 years old and actually have money, I don't have to worry about paying my bills and I don't think twice about running my card for groceries and stuff. So I'm just very fortunate that I've been able to have those opportunities to work hard and get where I am. But I think because I grew up so poor, I am modest. It's not something you don't wave it in people's faces or brag about it or anything like that. And I think that's where hopefully this daughter will gain out of it as well. You learn to be modest with what you have because you know what you came from or what you didn't have. And I think that hopefully that makes her, gives her a lot of character.
I kind of agree with that. I mean, look at Jenny. Jenny is a very, very humble person. She grew up without a lot of money. I'm very arrogant.
Yeah.
But so I don't know where that went wrong.
Well, that came in later in life.
Yeah.
When did I get arrogant?
In the last 30 years.
In the last 30 years?
Since you got this morning show.
When I became a mega superstar. No, you know what? I think you got a really good point. And that's like, I don't feel like I have to spend money to be happy. Mm-hmm. A ukulele is $40.
Yeah.
And, so I think, and I feel embarrassed. I talked to Jenny and I said, I don't want to talk about my new RV on the radio. Mm-hmm. Because I don't want to sound like I'm bragging,
But you're not. I made sure to clarify that Dave has worked so hard his entire life. It's not like you're 22 years old and you're like, well, look at this big RV I just blew all this money on. Like, you worked your whole life to do something that you've been dreaming of.
I guess that's
so you
true.
You got to treat yourself, girl.
Thank you.
I like this text message that says, I was that kid as a parent and in my 30s now. I look back and see how hard my parents worked. I was very taken care of. But we had a double wide, the nice kind. And I'm so proud of my parents and how I grew up. I couldn't afford sports or a lot of other things, but love doesn't just grow in bigger houses.
I like
Which made me want to cry a little bit. I was like,
I think the idea that you're concerned and worried about your daughter and doing the best that you can is enough. And she might go, you know what? We kind of did without. We did not have a PlayStation 5 and we did not have a 78-inch flat screen TV. Mm-hmm. But mom really loved me and made me feel loved. So... And check into the school helping you out with the Valley Fair. Because if you can make that happen, that's not going to make her childhood but she'll remember things like that.
She'll remember it.
I think the bottom line answer is like, you're doing fine, and she's doing fine.
No, I'll definitely ask the school to see what they can do. I appreciate it. That's a good idea.
Thank you, Tracy. If you want to do a group therapy, send an email into ryanshow@kdwb.com. More Katy Perry tickets coming up in 10 minutes on KDWB. We discovered this over the weekend, the AI song generator. So we said every single day we are going to do another AI-generated song. So yesterday we came up with a song called Don't Poop in the RV, and we wrote the lyrics on the air. It took it about maybe 3 minutes to generate the song, and here's what the song sounded like. Bailey and Vaughn and I and Jenny all put these lyrics together on like live on the radio.
Right here, right then.
And we said, okay, what do you want it to sound like? Well, I want it to be hip-hop, kind of rap. I want it to be like the lyrics are understandable so it's not too fast. So we wrote it, and 5 minutes later, here's what AI generated for Don't Poop in the RV.
I'm on the road, and I gotta go. I know for sure, I'm gonna blow. We're coming in hot. Can't get to the pot. Squeeze them cheeks tight. Whether it's day or night. Whatever you do, you can't poop. Don't poop in the RV. I'm on the road, and I gotta go.
Okay, so it repeats itself because we didn't write a whole lot of lyrics. So now we came up with yesterday, some people texted in and said, here's a song title. What's the song title that we liked?
We had, Oh, It's You Again for when Dave gets home and opens the garage door and sees that Susan is still home.
I like that one.
Bailey had a date over the weekend, so we had talked about that. And so Bailey's date with Bradley was an option. Coworker with the fish breath, because that was a conversation that was had as well.
Okay.
I caught him cheating because someone said I've been listening to War of the Roses too much lately. So they want a song based on I caught him cheating. And then Can't Fart in the Library.
Okay, I really am leaning toward topical. Bailey had a date. So
I liked Oh, It's You Again.
okay, well maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
So what's the music style we want to use? Because you can enter on this.
Bailey had a date again.
Broadway.
Jazz.
Oh, Lord.
Jazz. Okay.
I think it's got to be smooth.
Oh.
Like
Smooth
a little
jazz?
like sensual. Yeah.
How about smooth R&B?
Okay.
Smooth R&B.
R&B.
You think of like 90s R&B?
Soul.
Ooh, soul.
90s,
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, we love soul.
90s. Okay.
All right.
Now I need some lyrics.
Okay.
Thought it would never happen.
Well,
You got to throw in there for the first time since the Clinton administration.
oh, yeah.
Just throw that somewhere in
First
there.
time since
Good time.
Clinton was in office.
Yes.
Office. Okay. Okay.
Well, now we're going to rhyme stuff.
Okay, great.
Thought it would never happen. First time since Clinton was in office.
So happen. Are we rhyming everything? Because then what rhymes with happen?
I think we got to do AABB. So
Happen.
Thought it would never happen. Boy, this is really something. This is really something.
Okay. And then we're rhyming
First
office.
time since Clinton was in office.
Bailey, something kiss.
Office.
God, you guys are terrible songwriters.
Well, I don't have it in front of me. I need the words in front of me.
First time
What
since Clinton
rhymes
was
with
in
office?
Tis. A
Bailey
tryst,
went
a
out
tryst?
and got her
Orifice.
first kiss.
Orifice.
Don't you dare write orifice. I will
Okay.
come over there and punch you in the gullet.
In the gullet. Bailey went out and got a kiss.
I made it orifice.
Okay.
God dang it,
First
David.
number two. First number two.
They
went to.
We went to a distillery.
They went to.
Rhyme with
The
distillery.
hardest words ever.
Distillery.
As long as it's
She's getting more action than Hillary.
They got a little celery.
They got a little celery.
Celery.
Yeah, just they got a little silly.
Yeah,
You got a little
okay.
silly.
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 Celery.
He wants to fillery.
Stop it.
Whoa.
Yeah, that is so
He
gross,
wants to
David.
fillery.
That is so icky.
Her-
I'm going to vomit.
Her
No, Jenny.
Fillery.
Jenny. No.
You're
He
disgusting.
wants to Jack and Jillery.
God, David. Ew. I'm going to vom.
And Jill.
I want to go home.
Vom.
I'm going to go home.
Bailey.
This is gonna be the next song of the summer.
I'm going to go home.
At a date. It was her fate. She said It was so great.
She's going back home to her cat.
He doesn't listen to the show, right?
I don't think so. I hope
Do you think
not.
he will now?
No, I hope not.
What's up, Bradley?
Someone
Hi, Bradley.
someone texted in just now. What happened with Bailey and Trip? Trip ghosted me.
Old news.
So
Yeah. Okay, I need one more word that rhymes with 8.
8.
Great.
He did that.
Fornicate.
Okay.
Jennifer,
Time
Cooking.
to
whatever happened to
fornicate.
women supporting women?
I am.
Cooking.
I'm
You are
supporting
not
you getting some
supporting
ass,
me.
baby.
No.
God. Okay. So it's going to take a second for it to generate 8888. But so we'll probably have to do. It's going to take a second.
You want to
Okay.
play a
So-
little song quick?
We can play a song
Okay.
and then come back after Doechii.
Yep.
Or Morgan Wallen, your choice, whatever. And then we'll play Bailey's new song, Bailey Had a Date.
I vote Post Malone and Morgan Wallen.
Okay, let's do it on KDWB. Hang on, it's generating right now. Let's find out what it comes up with. It's next on KDWB. KDWB, and we generated a song called Bailey Had a Date. Now, I'll give you the address for this song generator, but let's see what it came up with. You guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, so Bailey Had a Date. We wrote down some lyrics, and then it's supposed to generate a smooth R&B, soulful kind of a song. So, okay, hold on. 1 second. I got to close a couple of apps here. Hold on. And hi, give me a second. There we go. Okay, and you ready now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bailey Had a Date. Here we go. Long intro, apparently.
This doesn't sound like a sexy song.
This is good for a DJ.
It would never happen.
Let's take a break.
Boy, this is really something. First time since Clinton was in office. Come on, fill that orifice.
Gosh. I'm
They went to a distillery. Got a little silvery. He wants to Hillary. He wants to Jack and Jillery.
Jack and Jillery.
Bailey had a day. It was her fate. It was so great. Time to fornicate.
That was Jenny's line. Nice, Jenny.
Yep, thank you.
Oh yeah, that's a horny song right there.
It is.
That is a pee dropper right there.
You're gonna pee? You're gonna pee listening to that song?
Different
Yep.
one.
Oh.
Now that's
okay.
version 1.
Yeah, let's hear that.
There's version 2.
Okay.
Bailey had a date. AI composed song 2. Again.
Long intro.
Long intro. Yeah, girl.
Thought it would never happen. Boy, this is really something.
Yeah.
First time since Clinton was in office. Come on, fill that orifice. They went to a distillery. Got a little celery. He wants to Hillary. He wants to Jack and Jillery. Bailey had a date. It was cursed, babe. She was like, we're so great. Tigers want a cake.
Yeah, girl. Okay, so there they are. Which one do you want?
First one was better.
First one was better. You like the first one? Okay,
Yeah.
good to know. Okay. And so now we just going to come with more song titles for tomorrow.
Yeah.
What song? Give me a song title suggested for tomorrow. And tomorrow around this time, we'll have it generate every day this week. Because we're like a kid with a new toy.
Yeah.
We get it out all the time and play with it. Then we all get bored with it. And we say, never do that again.
Yeah, we'll forget about it.
Juanita texted in saying the next song should be called When Are We Going to Benihana?
Okay.
And I like that one. I feel like that one can be like a da-da-da-da-da-da, like polka.
Okay. Well, we could.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Benihana, because I wanna.
Yeah,
And
go
I'm
to Benihana.
Gonna go to Benihana.
Yum, yum sauce.
Okay.
Yum, yum sauce.
All right, let's do War of the Roses on
Well,
Katy
first
WB.
we gotta do Katy Perry tickets. Yeah,
Katy Perry.
Mm-hmm.
Katy Perry.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. How are we giving this away?
Well, we're going to play Finish the Lyric.
Okay.
So let's do just a fun little sample round here, but let's get some people on the phone right now, 651-989 KDWB, and we'll play a little lyric of a song and you have to finish the next line of it.
Okay, so you want to do a sample round?
Yeah, do one for me and Bailey.
Okay, so 651-989 KDWB. If you know you're going to suck at this game, I promise you probably will. So save this for somebody else. 651-989 KDWB. I will play the first part of a song. You give me the next line in the song. Here we go.
But nothing comes close to the golden close. Once you party with us,
You'll be falling in love.
You'll be falling in love.
Okay.
Man, I really questioned myself on that one. You
Nice
knew it
job.
right away, Bailey?
Yeah.
Wow, you know way more Katy Perry than me.
I do like Katy Perry. I mean, I did. Yeah.
Okay. We'll get somebody on the phone. It's going to take a second because Vaughn is screening through the phone calls because it'll be people who are going, what am I calling
Hello?
for?
What am I doing?
Do I win Morgan Wallen tickets? No. It's Katy Perry.
Oh.
Can I get Morgan Wallen tickets instead? So this is what DJs go through when they answer the phone. There are a lot of people who I would do the same thing. I would call not knowing what I'm going to win, just on the chance that I might win something. Hi, Brittany.
Hi.
Oh my God, Brittany, are you ready to play the game?
Yes.
We're going to play a Katy Perry song. You then have to finish the lyric. Give me the next line in the song. Here we go.
I'm Carrie, as for you.
I couldn't hear that.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, here we go. Let's try this one.
There's a stranger in my bed. There's a pounding in my head. Glitter all over the room.
There's a stranger in my room.
Pink flamingos in the pool.
No,
not at all.
You just repeated the thing.
Not at all.
You know, you gave it your best shot, Brittany. Thanks for trying. I'm going to take caller number 10 right now. And
It's my fault. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I argued that we should do this live, and Dave was like, no, they're not going to hear. And I was like, I know.
Whenever we do this contest, people, they can't hear it. And they always say, I couldn't hear it. And then they don't know it.
Yeah.
But then
I
it's
would do
tough.
the same. I would do the same thing, though. I want to win stuff.
Mhm.
I would call in having no idea what the answer is, hoping that maybe someone I'd get lucky. Caller number 10 right now. Katy Perry tickets, 651-989 KDWB. Show is a week from tonight. Caller number 10. Good luck.
If your bank calls to take a survey and you're cheating, hang up. It's War of the Roses on KDWB.
I don't know that we've ever done a War of the Roses before where there's a separated couple. We might have because we've done War of the Roses for a long time, but we've got somebody on the phone who is actually, it's not boyfriend, girlfriend. They're not just dating. They are married. But Samantha, how long have you and Jared, your husband, how long have you been separated?
We have been separated since the summer, mid-June, really.
Okay.
So...
And do you want to, you don't have to get into why you're separated. You could if you wanted to, but that's not the issue. You are concerned that there might be something going on while you're separated. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. Basically, I guess just to go back to the separation, we were seeing a therapist, and she said that the best way to do this and really come out ahead and feel like we learned from it was to truly not see other people during our kind of trial separation, not to date and not to be really to be working on ourselves and evaluating the relationship, not just going to look to hook up or be with other people.
Okay.
So,
and I think I've heard that. It's not a license to go hook up. It's a lesson. It's basically an opportunity to see whether you can live without each other and to to figure the whole thing out. Not a license to go hook up with somebody because now you are, you have some privacy. So,
right.
But you're suspicious that something is going on, that he might be seeing somebody. What's going on?
Well, that's what we're going to figure out, hopefully, because all the signs are there that something is going on. And it's just given me that yucky feeling in my stomach, that, that pit feeling.
Yeah.
Last week, he came over to my house. First of all, we share a dog, and we sometimes go back and forth with random things because he got an apartment and I'm in the house. But he basically came over to borrow our vacuum, and his cologne, let's just say the smell of his cologne was off the charts.
Okay.
Potent, strong, smack me in the face.
Did he wear cologne before?
No.
Okay. That is really all I need to know. That's all I need to know. Because why are you wearing cologne unless you are trying to appeal to someone sexually?
I don't know. I don't think cologne is the biggest red flag yet. But is there something else, Samantha?
I feel hold on. I have a Post-it note with a few things, and I want to make sure I name them all. So let me grab that. Hang on. Okay. Yep. So number 1 was cologne. Number 2, he got a haircut recently, but not just a trim, because he's always had kind of a little shaggy mullet situation, which I thought was cute. Now it's very white collar. I'm going into a corporate office. He's got all his hair cut off, very Rico Suave, which is not my husband.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So he got a
haircut.
Cologne.
Okay.
Yeah, totally changed his look, almost like a makeover. And then on top of that, I definitely, I don't want to sound crazy, but I've been, Insta stalking. And not only is he going out late, but he's staying up late. And that's just because, on Instagram, you can see when people were active or whatever. And sometimes on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning, I'll be on my Instagram and then I'll go and look back and be able to see when he was last active. And it's, it's 8 o'clock in the morning and it'll be last active 5 hours ago or 4 hours ago.
I think I knew that. So if I were to look, let's say look up Jenny's right now. So let's say I go to Instagram
I think you have to go to my DM, like the conversation in DMs, because then you can kind of see under the username, it'll say active 5 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, here it says. Okay, yeah. Jenny KDWB, active 36 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I am surprised that people aren't complaining about that on Instagram. I mean, there's times I feel like it doesn't show that all the time, but anyway, the times I've been looking, it's been showing that.
But the evidence shows, I mean, you got the cologne, which to me is like evidence right there. That is no way that your husband, who never wore cologne, is wearing cologne unless he's trying to appeal to somebody or somebody said, hey, I got you some cologne or you should wear some cologne, especially if he's putting it on, because a guy that doesn't wear cologne often doesn't realize you don't need to put on a lot, just a little.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the haircut is odd, but the thing about him, unless he just has insomnia, you know what? You're saying that he's, active at 2:00 in the morning. Maybe he just can't sleep. It could be because he misses you. It could be just because he's like up and he can't sleep because you're on his mind. But here's what we can do.
I like that you're optimistic like that. But
Well,
I'm not
I mean, I hope that's the case. But here's what we can do. We can call him and we can do the whole roses routine and say, hey, take the survey. We'll give you a dozen roses. Send the roses to whoever you want to. And if you send the roses, to you, Samantha, that's good. But we'll find out if he sends them to you or somebody else. Okay?
Please, yes, that would be awesome. And I guess I'll just hope for the best.
101.3
KDWB from the Custom One MN.com Weather Center.
It's going to be a toasty day outside today. Sunny with a high of 85. Tomorrow, not quite as warm, partly sunny, a high of 72.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. If you're ready for a new job, let Express Employment Professionals help you. Express is already hiring for summer jobs in a variety of industries. Job seekers never pay a fee at Express. Go to ExpressPros.com to find your location. That's ExpressPros.com.
Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Chuck Ells from 45 TV. I may be the head of the 45 TV Institute of Laughter, but I don't discriminate between broadcast mediums, which is why I'm here on the radio today fielding some calls. All right, let's take this first call from Missy. Missy, you're on with Dr. Chuck Ells.
Sheldon got hurt.
What's that now?
A chicken chased him into a mailbox.
Wait a second. Is this Missy Cooper, Sheldon Cooper's sister? Is this a prank call? Put Sheldon on.
That was a joke. I'm a joker.
Well, thank you for that. That's all the time we have now. Watch Young Sheldon weekdays at 5 and 5:30 on 45 TV.
If your AC's wheezing like a walrus,
or sounding like it swallowed a kazoo,
we see it every spring here at Northern 1 Hour Air.
Last year's no big deal ends up this year's why is it so hot in here?
That's why we pop the hood, tighten what's loose, and clean what's filthy.
And reset your AC to chill mode.
No fluff, just facts, filters, and cold air.
Call or go online to schedule your $49 spring essential tune-up today.
Northern 1 Hour Air.
A home that needs new everything. Plus the kitchen sink. Life math is complicated. Affinity Plus makes it easier. With great rates on a home equity line of credit, we make tackling home projects less stressful. Visit affinityplus.org/rates to learn more today. Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union. Insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender.
6'5".
There's a nip in the air at Dixon Farms, and we're bringing in a new crop that you're sure to enjoy. It's a special hybrid we've been working on for years, and now Dixon Farms has perfected it. If you like delicious cantaloupe,
I love cantaloupe.
And if you like Dixon cider,
my wife and I both like Dixon cider,
then you'll love the newest member of the Dixon cider family, a cantaloupe with that unmistakable Dixon cider taste. Dixon cider melons.
Dixon cider melons? That sounds amazing.
It is. Lay back, all the way back, and get ready for Dixon cider melons. This fall, after you get some hot Dixon cider, try some warm Dixon cider melon.
Yes, please. I've been waiting to give my wife Dixon cider melons for a long time.
I have to be honest, it didn't do much for me, but he really enjoyed it.
This fall, get some juicy Dixon cider melons. And trust me, you'll want some extra napkins.
Thanks, Dixon Farms.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Dave's 20-something original bangs from 13 original colonies. He courted 'em, kissed 'em, and now we'll name 'em one by one, including some he impregnated. There was Christy, April, Kathy, and Candy. She burned down a daycare. Joan and Cricket, yes, her name is Cricket. Debbie and another Debbie. Julie, yes, that Julie, but there was also another Julie. Kim and Kelly, another Kathy, was a hooker in Vegas. Linda, Mary, Vicky had a mohawk. Melanie, Melissa, Stephanie, Nancy sold ashtrays at state fairs. Tammy cheated on him with an Air Force cadet and a woman. Vanessa smelled bad, and we can't forget Patty.
To Franklin, 94 eastbound slow from Maple Grove Parkway to the Fish Lake Interchange, and heavy eastbound from Olson Memorial to Hiawatha. 494 tight eastbound from Prairie Center to Highway 100 with a stall. I'm Maria Arnold, and that's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Spring is here, and Standard Heating and Air is ready to help. As a Smart Club member with Standard Heating, your local York dealer, now's the perfect time to beat the summer rush and save big during their pre-summer heat savings event. Visit standardheating.com today. Big deals now, big relief later.
Wilmer Valderrama and Freddie Rodriguez welcome another amigo to their podcast, Dos Amigos. Wilmer's friend and former That 70s Show castmate Topher Grace stops by the Speakeasy for a two-part interview to discuss his career and reminisce about old times.
We were still in that place of like, what will this experience become? And you go, you're having the best time you're ever going to have. Yeah. But it was like such a perfect golden time.
Listen to Dos Amigos on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Dos Amigos.
Now live on streaming video. KDWB's Dave Ryan Show is now on YouTube every morning starting at 7 a.m. Just search Dave Ryan TV. Are they cheating? Let's find out. Part 2 of War of the Roses starts right now on KDWB.
So on War of the Roses today, they are separated and they are not supposed to hook up with anybody else. But she thinks that he is because of the cologne.
And she saw he's been active on Instagram super late in the middle of the night.
He got his hair cut.
Which, I mean, some people get their hair cut, but it seemed like it was a drastic haircut.
So is he hooking up with somebody while they're separated? Because that was not part of the deal. I guess when you get separated, you're supposed to work on your marriage, not work on hooking up. So we're going to make the phone call and find out whether he sends the roses to his wife or to somebody else.
That's all I needed from you, Jared. So now, like I said, I have a dozen roses to send out to whoever you'd like. I need a name for who you want to send those roses to.
Send them to Morgan.
All right, awesome. So I got her name down. And then also we do offer a card that you can send to her if you want to write a note on it or anything. Would you like to do that?
Yeah, I would. Let's just write the word soon.
What was it again?
Soon. S-O-O-N. And she'll know what it means.
Oh, okay. I mean, simple enough. That saves us some characters on the card. So soon. Got that.
Saves characters on the card because you got to economize on those characters.
Yeah.
What in the world is going on here? There's so many questions. But first, I think I owe you an explanation, Jared. This is a trap. This is a trap. We are calling to see who you would send roses to. We were kind of hoping that you would send them to your wife. And who is we? It is the Dave Ryan Show, Dave and Jenny, over on KDWB Radio. And apparently you don't listen to us, or you would know that you were on a feature we call War of the Roses, where we try to trap people who might be kind of sneaking around a little bit. But then you wonder, are you still with me, Jared? You're still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, so then you start to wonder, you go, well, who would do this? Well, it's interesting because your wife listens to KDWB, and she called us and she said, hey, will you call my husband Jared and see whether he sends flowers to me? And she's listening in right now. Samantha, say hi to Jared.
Well, hi, but what the literal F did you mean by soon is what I want to know. And also, who the F is Morgan?
That's a legitimate question. I think that, we're wondering why you would send them to Morgan, but also, I mean, she's been suspicious for a while. Do you want to tell him why you've been suspicious a little bit, Samantha, about maybe that he's seeing somebody else?
I mean, come on. You got your hair cut. That's just bizarre. You never cut your hair. And then the cologne, you've been wearing cologne. Not to mention you're up late at night on Instagram and you haven't even been posting lately, like you're trying to hide who you've been with. And you got your car detailed. Like, come on. You're going to sit here and tell me you're
ridiculous. This is first of all, this is not the forum to be doing this. Are you following me? So I get a haircut. Name me one human being who doesn't get haircuts. That is the dumbest thing I've heard. I got a haircut. And why are you doing this?
Calling me dumb? Okay, so we'll just answer the question. Are you seeing somebody or not?
I mean, let me ask you something. Do you really want to discuss all this in this setting right now? And by the way, I know you're seeing somebody else too. Do you think I don't see the lingerie you're buying on Amazon?
Samantha, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
She got kind of quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look, I think we're done here.
War of the Roses on KDWB. Search classic episodes on the iHeartRadio app. Just search Dave Ryan, War of the Roses.
It's brought to you by Ovo LASIK and Lens also. Shout out to them.
Thank you, Ovo. Appreciate that. National Nurses Day is today.
Woo-hoo.
Pa Ing-zhong is from Minneapolis, works at Children's Hospital, nominated by Sam. So good job, Pa Ing-zhong. You are our Nurse of the Day. Get a $100 Starbucks gift card, courtesy of Rasmussen University. Woo. So we'll do one of these every hour, pretty much all day long, for National Nurses Day. Shout out nurses, and we'll be right back with You Can't Make This Stuff Up on KDWB.
It's round 2 of the playoffs. Wolves, Warriors, tomorrow at 8:30. Live on the Minnesota Timberwolves channel on iHeartRadio and FM 100.3 KFAN The Fan. Powered locally on The Fan by TimberTech.
Upgrade your outdoors this spring with TimberTech decks. Get the natural look of wood without the upkeep. Durable, beautiful, and built to last. TimberTech. Everything wood should be. Ask your contractor today for TimberTech.
From the CustomOneMN.com Weather Center.
Get a little hot and spicy out there today. Sunny all day long with a high of 85. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 72.
This report is sponsored by Robert Half. At Robert Half, they found that 67% of companies want to increase contract talent. That's why their recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI work quickly to find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
You know what we love a lot? Now, I don't just mean mini corn dogs. I'm talking about our home. We love our home so much. You ever hear a story about somebody who goes back to their childhood home just because it's so full of memories and it's so special? Take care of your home with Zero Res. Hey, especially with all the stuff coming up as the weather gets warmer. We're talking about grad parties, the end of the school year, and of course, warm weather. Zero Res handles every surface in your home, whether it's carpets or tile and grout, hardwood, laminate, stone, upholstery, rugs, air ducts. Get your home Zero Resified. I do it all the time because I love my home so much. There's so many things about this story that I just love. I think even she admits there's some part of the story that's absolutely ridiculous. What happened with your husband that made you say, oh my God, we can do War of the Roses? What happened?
I hope she makes you smile.
I found a pill.
The way you made me smile on the other end of a phone in the middle of a highway driving alone.
I just noticed that sometimes he comes home and he smells like a different soap.
And there was some sort of smeared substance on her shirt.
I keep
finding pairs of underpants in our mailbox.
Knowing that he was there and then she disappears, knowing that giving her the side eye, giving her the look the entire night.
I can't help it that you're insecure about my past relationship. I have said I'm sorry. I've already apologized for that.
Yeah, babe, I hope he shows up in a 2 a.m. pic from a friend, hanging on to a girl to just rub it in. I hope you stay up all night, all alone, waiting by the phone, and then he calls.
So we met this girl, and she introduced herself as, she was like, "Hi, I'm Kendra from Days of Our Lives."
Well, after the fact, he's like, by the way, I was at Kendra's house putting in a backsplash.
Looked at our Target app, and I've never done this, but it shows all sort of the purchase history around Valentine's Day. We also bought this Reese's heart-shaped chocolate box and condoms.
I hope you both feel the sparks by the end of the drive. I hope you know he's the one by the end of the night. I hope you never ever felt more free. Tell your friends that you're so happy.
So I hid under the stairs just in case, someone was going to come over, but no one ever came over. So I was stuck under the stairs for 3 hours.
Like you did on me. Like you did on me.
And Kelly was hoping that you would send those roses to her.
Oh, well, if I would have known she was listening, I would have.
Well, of course you would have.
You're this upset about it. Why can't you just talk to me about it?
I'm going to get a restraining order or something now. This is one step too far.
Honestly, just get off my...
Every guy says, I told that crazy girl to leave me alone.
Yeah. He cheated on his wife, so can you really believe whatever the he's saying? Turns out that I'm basically the last person to know that my sister-in-law and my husband have been having an affair. Everybody else knows.
Sorry, I can't hear you guys.
I mean, how long do you think this is going to last, though? Because, he can pretend right now that the phone is not coming through, that the call's not coming through. Because he was so flat busted, he just hung up.
Like you did on me.
Season. Always at the best prices, guaranteed.
Get ready, Burnsville. The brand new Cub is opening Thursday, May 15th, and you're invited to the celebration. Be one of the first 250 customers through the doors and score a free swag bag packed with Cub goodies. Enjoy tons of free samples from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and again from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And that's just the beginning. Sampling fun continues all weekend and into the weeks ahead. It's the grand opening party you don't want to miss. Head to Cub's Facebook page for all the details, and we'll see you in Burnsville.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
From the 612 Injured, High Merle and Lammers Injury Law Traffic Center.
Good morning. We have delays on 694 eastbound from 252 to 35W, northbound from Highway 120 to 35E, and westbound 35W to East River. Crosstown tight eastbound 169 to Valley View, westbound 34th Avenue to Penn. I'm Maria Arnold, and that's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Minnesota.
101.3 KDWB.
You can't make this stuff up.
2, 3, 4. Got a lot of fun stories for you here today on You Can't Make This Stuff Up. So let's dive in and see what we have here. It is National Teacher Appreciation Day, part of Teacher Appreciation Week. And so here's some proof they deserve a full week. They asked, what is the toughest job in America? And teachers came in not at the top, but in the top 20. So let me go through the top toughest jobs there are. Number 1, firefighter. Firefighter, number 1.
Agreed.
Number 2, construction worker. Member of the military. Doctor, cop, paramedic, astronaut, farmer. Because I guess if you're a farmer, you really can't take the day off. You know what I mean? It's like, well,
you work all the time.
I guess you got to slop the hogs every day if you're a farmer.
That, and what if it doesn't rain?
Ooh, right,
you're
exactly.
What is slopping the hogs?
You just get down in there and roll around with them a little bit.
Wrong.
Give them some quality of life.
Give them a little smack on the behind.
No.
Giggle.
Good piggy. Didn't you guys ever read Charlotte's Web?
No.
I watched the movie.
I mean, I know what slopping a pig, but I'm just
You take a bucket of slop out to the hog trough and you pour a bucket of slop in there. Corn cobs.
They eat
old
anything.
Beans,
It's their
Brussels
food?
sprouts.
Yeah.
You know.
You take like anything that you make in the kitchen and you have like scraps, you just throw it into a bucket and that's your slop bucket. And then you just bring it out to the pigs and throw it in a trough.
Yeah.
This reminds me of the time Fallon hog-tied you.
I do remember
Does that still exist? Okay, you keep going with your story. I'm going to look up this video so we can share it if I can find it.
So farmer, air traffic controller, and oil worker. Let's go back to air traffic controller. I guess in New Jersey, because of the old antiquated system, you're an air traffic controller. You're controlling planes. They're all ready to fly into each other unless you keep them separated. They're on duty a few weeks ago. All the screens went blank.
Oh.
So they could no longer see on radar where the planes were, like Flight 509, headed to 300 degrees, whatever, blah, blah. They couldn't see where they were for 90 seconds.
I heard.
So what do you do then?
They went on like a strike, like a stress strike. They said, we ain't coming back. And so now, I guess is it Trenton? Is that where the big new airport is out there? In Newark. They basically, everything is delayed and still delayed because of a lack of air traffic controllers.
It's that, and literally, I think one runway is open right now. So the delays, if you look up just Newark Airport, there are a ton of delays, and it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
People are like saying, like, don't travel in or out of Newark.
Yeah, I don't blame them. Teacher tied for 16th place, but let's face it, come on, astronaut is easier because you're basically just sitting on a couch pushing a couple of buttons. I mean,
versus
how hard
trying
is that?
to, raise the children of the future to be decent human beings.
Also, if they're a roofer, could never do it.
Oh, absolutely
I've
not.
watched roofers in the neighborhood, and they're up there walking around like they're walking on a sidewalk that's 2 inches off the ground. And they're on like a 90-degree angled roof, and they're walking around with a stack of bricks in their hand or whatever they're carrying. Electricians, home builders, engineers, teacher, pilot, lawyer, woodworker, and installing drywall.
Where is a radio DJ on that list?
Number 462nd after professional nap taker.
Oh,
okay. So we've
got glad they've got it harder than us.
Wait, that's a profession? I'm switching careers.
You need to look into that. A couple of more. Skype has gone away. Did you hear about this one?
I did hear about that.
Really?
Yes.
No more Skype.
Skype is no longer. When it came out 22 years ago, it was a free service from Microsoft, and you could do video calls and phone calls, and you could have a Skype phone number, et cetera, et cetera. But then everybody now uses FaceTime, Teams, or Zoom.
Yeah.
So Skype is no more. Microsoft announced it a month ago and started moving users over to Teams. So if you go to Skype.com, it now prompts you to start using Teams. Came out in about 2003, and then Microsoft actually bought it for $8.5 billion in 2011, and I'm not sure if they made a profit off of that or not, but
I do miss like the Skype times because Skype was really big when like Jenny and I was in college.
Yes, I would Skype my best friend in Wisconsin every single day.
Yes.
No kidding.
Yes, we would just like go about our normal like evening routine and just both be on Skype.
Yeah, and it came out like right at the end of high school, so then when you left all of your friends to go to different colleges, you could still hang out with them. And it was like the best thing ever was Skype. And I would post on Facebook all the time being like, I'm going to be on Skype tonight. If anyone wants to like chat, I'll be on Skype from this time to this time.
And did anybody ever oblige?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
they
have
did.
friends. Yeah.
It sounded nerdy.
By the way, Ruth Buzzy over here was very upset because a couple of people texted in yesterday. Ruth Buzzy was a comic from way back in the day, and she died. She was about 88 years old. And then somebody texted in and said, oh, my God, Bailey looks just like Ruth Buzzy.
Yeah.
And I said, nah, not really. You're way hotter than Ruth Buzzy. But there is definitely a resemblance in there.
It's on our YouTube Live. We have a picture of young Ruth Buzzy. I looked up young Ruth Buzzy. It makes me feel less bad. But if you just Google Ruth Buzzy, it is not necessarily a compliment.
I feel like she was actually pretty hot when she was younger, but like the recent photos of her, like when you smile and you can literally see the teeth in the back of your mouth, that's a big mouth. Okay.
So
Bailey does not have that smile. You don't look like her at all, in my opinion.
I made a poll on our Instagram at Dave Ryan Show. I said, do you see the resemblance? And it's still a little early, but right now it's 85% of people say yes, totally they see it.
Don't do that to Bailey.
Ask me again in like a half hour because the poll is only like 20 minutes old. But
Okay.
right now, yes, people say yes, Ruth Buzzy 1,000%.
Oh, well. I guess
There's
there's worse things.
There's a little resemblance in there,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it's like, allowed through HR to tell your coworker they're kind of hot. But I've told you from the very beginning, you're kind of hot.
Kinda.
Not super hot, but kind of hot.
I mean, at least
I would
somebody
settle for kind of hot.
thank you. At least no one said that I look like Gollum. I mean, it could be worse because Gollum's pretty rough.
Now that you bring that up, that's really turn to the side. Oh, yeah.
She's got too much hair for Gollum.
Yeah. All right. It is KDWB. We are just a couple of minutes away from Dave's Dirt and another nurse of the day. Nurses are the ones that the doctors get all the glamour. The doctors are the ones who's like, okay, what do you got, nurse? It's like, okay, well, this patient over here has got a cardioid euphemism.
Yeah, and their arms hanging off.
Yeah. Their arm is hanging off. Okay, well, let's see. Stitch. Okay, nurse, close him up. And the nurses do all the work. They're the ones cleaning up the blood and the urine and the fecal
And the
matter
guts,
and all that stuff. And the doctors, the doctors are like, I gotta go play golf.
Golf.
And the nurses are back there, doing paperwork, taking care of all this stuff. Heather Knapp is the nurse of the hour from St. Anthony over at Alina Health, nominated by somebody else named Heather. So congratulations, Heather Knapp.
Hey.
What does she win, Jenny?
She wins a $100 Starbucks gift card, all courtesy of Rasmussen University.
Not
Get you
bad.
fueled on those long 12-hour shifts that nurses work. They work long shifts.
Yeah.
Especially the overnight people.
Shout out to nurses. We appreciate you. And that's why we're doing Nurses Day with Rasmussen University. We'll do another one next hour on KDWB.
Coach always used to say, rub a little dirt on it. Dave's Dirt on KDWB.
Some weird stories. Jennifer Aniston's at home in her house in Bel Air yesterday afternoon, sitting around, probably having like a little iced tea by the pool.
Probably.
And then all of a sudden, like there's a big crash out front. Somebody drove their car through her front gate. Now, they were arrested, so I'm going to guess it was not an accident. Like, remember 10, 12 years ago, Lindsay Lohan drove her car into a fence in Bel Air somewhere? Remember that?
I don't,
Yeah.
but
if
I
you look
trust
it up,
you.
Lindsay Lohan was like either drunk or not paying attention or something, and she drove her car into a fence in Beverly Hills or Bel Air or something like that. And we were out there not too much longer. We went on one of those Hollywood van tours.
Yeah.
And we drive by that spot, and the driver's like, see that broken fence over there? That's where Lindsay Lohan drove her SUV into the fence.
Well,
that was an accident.
I wonder the person who drove into Jennifer Aniston's gate, like, did they think they were in Grand Theft Auto? Because in like video game, you drive through a gate and the gate just like flies up behind you and then you keep driving. But like in real life, the gate is gonna stop you.
Well, or smash your windshield and then kill you.
Right, exactly.
Like,
Yeah, so I think they did it on purpose. Larry David once met Paul McCartney, and he didn't want to ask the standard questions like, what's your favorite Beatles song? Or what was it like being a Beatle? Which is what I would ask him, because, those are good questions. So we asked him a question nobody else has ever asked him.
At the 50th, I was introduced to Paul McCartney, and I said to him, has anyone ever punched you in the mouth? There was an incident in his youth when he was like 13 or 14, and somebody headbutted him, he told me.
A couple of weeks from now, Final Destination Bloodlines is coming out, and Vontavious and I are going to leave early from the show to go catch an early screening.
Catch a matinee.
how early are these screenings?
I don't know. We're leaving early anyway.
Yeah, we'll leave at like 6:05.
Yeah.
6:05?
Yeah, what time does the show start, by the way?
We'll be first in line because I love the Final Destination series, and I think this is the final one.
I don't know. Don't say that. I want them to make more.
You know what? Maybe they will. So it's interesting because in the very first scene of the opening sequence of Final Destination Bloodlines, there's a woman who gets burned to death during the opening sequence. The interesting part is it was a 71-year-old stunt woman that was set on fire, and she set a new world record for the oldest person ever on fire on camera. 71 years old.
Baller.
That is
Baller move.
No kidding. You ever heard of like bands that just hate each other? Bands that just cannot get along?
I wonder about a lot of bands that are probably like that.
Well, remember when the Jonas Brothers, they were here in town and they got into a big fight about something and they canceled part of their tour? Do you remember that 7 or 8 years ago? The reason I bring it up is because, you know, the band Oasis, Wonderwall?
Yeah.
Two brothers, Liam and Noel Gallagher, they hate each other. They do not like each other. They're brothers. I don't know why they hate each other, but I think they've gotten into several fist fights on stage before. They are going to tour, but they're not going to see each other until they're both on stage. They will both enter the stage from different sides of the stage. They will not fly together, travel together, dress, shower, eat together, nothing. The only time they'll be together is when they are on the stage. When the show is over, Liam will walk off stage right.
Oh, wow.
Noel will walk off on stage left.
And then they just don't speak.
They just don't, but there's money to be made in touring.
Yeah,
so.
but not when your show is going to be garbage because there's no chemistry between the two singers or whatever instrument they play.
Could be.
That's fun. I actually feel like I'd want to go watch that just to see if they'd get in a fight. And then I'd be like, fight.
Do it. You won't. Let's talk about people's real names. We covered a little bit of this earlier. Garth Brooks, not his real name. First name is Troyal.
What a name.
Garth Brooks.
Troyal?
Hank Williams. Real name, Hiram King Williams. But Hiram doesn't have the same country twang as Hank does. And Hank Williams Jr.'s real first name is Randall. Patsy Cline. Patsy Cline, remember her from way back in the day? You've heard of her.
I love her.
Her real name was Virginia Patterson Hensley. John Denver's real name, not John Denver. Henry John Duchendorf Jr. Duchendorf.
See why he doesn't go by that.
Yes.
What?
Randy Travis's real name, Randy Trawick. Faith Hill's real name is Audrey Faith Perry. Luke Bryan, not his real name. Real name, Thomas Luther Bryan. And Shania Twain wins the award for farthest departure from her real name.
Oh, gosh.
Shania Twain's real name, Eileen Regina Edwards.
I wonder how they come up, because some of these are so wildly different. Like some, it makes sense. It's your middle name and then you change your last name. But some of them are so wildly different, like Shania Twain. Where do you like sit down and workshop that with other people? Like how do you come it up? You
probably do like a research thing on it. I mean, think of like country artists like Morgan Wallen.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great country artist name.
Yeah.
Jelly Roll. not his real name.
Right. Well, yeah. I know Chapel Roan, that's not her real name.
Oh, what is her real name?
I don't know. But I also, obviously, Lady Gaga's not her real name.
Yep. Stephanie
Germanamana.
Yep.
Let's see. Chapel Roan's real name is Kaylee Rose Amstutz.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Amstutz is not popping off on flyers.
I mean, it's so important a name. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. It's like Walt Disney, his real name.
Yeah.
And it's a magical name. Disneyland, Disney World, Disney Channel, Disney everything. But what if his real last name was Schwarzenberger?
Or Dumendorf or whatever you said.
It's like Walt Schwarzenberger. You wouldn't want to go to Schwarzenberger land.
No.
It would have never taken off.
Yeah, I feel like
it would never fit on a shirt.
I feel like you're shading my last name right now.
Lutenberger?
Well, we are.
Yeah.
You'll never have a theme park.
We should workshop new names for all of us.
Okay.
That sounds like a good bit.
Write it down, Jenny.
Write it down. Workshopping for all of us.
Tomorrow. Dave Cert brought to you by 612 Injured. Heimer and Lammer's Injury Law, and we'll be right back on KDWB. We're going to talk to Brian from Snap Fitness. Brian's going to give us some fitness and nutrition tips to get our spring and summer kicked off, right? Maybe you feel unmotivated. I know so many people that have started an exercise program, and they're like, yeah, and they go down to Dick's, and they buy some apparel, and they buy some shoes, and they buy a water bottle, and they go about 3 times, and they go, I'm not motivated. I think we're going to talk about that and some other cool things to just kind of motivate. Bailey, this is for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to the gym yesterday.
Well, you went to the gym yesterday because they were having a 2-for-1 on pizza.
Donuts.
We'll be right back.
We tell you all the time about how incredible Sono Bello is and how they've been changing people's lives. And I just got this note from Jessica to prove it. The Sono Bello staff is absolutely amazing. Every time